Hi everyone, and good evening from the Cincinnati, Ohio area, where today I've got something a little different on the channel. Today I'm at Jungle Jim's, a grocery store. But not only a grocery store, the world's greatest grocery store, filled with animatronics and all sorts of fun. Let's go check things out. If you need an electric cart, you pick it up here at the Caddy Shack. As all grocery stores should, it starts with a giant toy section, including it looks like two old theme park ride vehicles. Also hanging from the rafters in the toy area is some things that used to be outside of a lot of grocery stores, like old-timey merry-go-rounds. This does have characters on it. The grocery store is so big it has its own map, like you're at a theme park. Much like here at In the Loop, Jungle Jim's has their own podcast. Their setup is much fancier than ours, and it looks like you can watch the podcast get filmed through old airplane seats. This place is so cool that you can get a guided tour of it. There's a whole section for collectibles. That would get me in trouble. Oh my goodness, look at Darkwing Duck. Let's see what else is next. Cookware. That makes sense for a grocery store. All right, you got an ice cream shop and a Fifth Third Bank. I like the entrance to the bank. It looks like it's like a big safe. There's a NASCAR hanging from the rafters. A giant pet area. There's a giant log cabin here for Loge cast iron. All right, I found the first animatronic. This is a corn of cob and I think a butter.
Butter's better, oh yeah.
Would you stop singing? It's time to get to work.
Butter's better.
Would you stop already? You're getting under my husk.
Here in the pharmacy area, they've got a not quite Johnny Bravo. Pretty much everything's fun, even the air vent above the sushi area. Whole section dedicated to olives. Before, this is meats and cold cuts.
Swinging in the Campbell's soup aisle, right here.
Hard to beat this.
Jungle Jim's.
There's an animatronic Campbell's soup can that talks while swinging around. Currently in the cheese section where they have the big cheese. It's 800 pounds. There's all sorts of cheese sculptures in there with it. Now I believe they do a big kind of event where once a year they take the big cheese down and they cut it for a big cheese festival. Something that's very popular here at Jungle Jim's and it's famous, they have award-winning bathrooms. They look like their entrances are porta-johns, but they're actually real bathrooms. And they're right next to pinball and a giant selection of craft beer. There's also a wine area. So if you're looking for some good beer, you'll definitely be able to find it here at Jungle Jim's. It seems like certain days of the week they have a cooking school here. This whole section is just insane things made out of gummies. Like a giant gummy tongue, gummy pizza, a gummy shark. Look at the size of the watermelon slice. Love this. They've got a whole bunch of old bumper cars from Coney Island that they've turned into candy machines or candy displays. Another animatronic here. This one is, I believe, known as the King, and he used to be at some Chuck E. Cheese locations. Kind of rare to find nowadays, so really cool that they keep him in good working order here at Jungle Jim's. More Pez dispensers than I've ever seen in my life. If you're curious what Jungle Jim himself looks like, well, that's him if he was made out of jelly beans. Love above the Amish farm section, there is a legit horse and buggy. In the produce area, there is a fun photo op. I'm bummed these guys are not animatronics. It looks like they maybe used to be animatronics, as penguins are my favorite animal. And they welcome you to the frozen food aisle. Hard to beat this set of animatronics. It is the cereal band with the Honey Nut Cheerios B, the Tricks Rabbit, and the Lucky Charge Leprechaun. You got what looks like our more old theme park ride vehicles turned into displays. This one, they're just selling minced garlic. It's not normally what bears enjoy. Currently in the seafood section, which has a whole nautical village to it. You know, you never know what you're going to find in a store like this. You go from Chuck E. Cheese animatronics to military history. Now, that being Jungle Gym's international market, as you get towards the back, it's divvied up by sections. So there's an Asia section, Hispanic section, and more. I see Italy over there on the corner. Not in the international section is the King of Pop. And I think these are all just crazy sodas. Yes. Chocolate chip cookie dough soda. Bacon soda. As you would, right above the hot sauce area, full-size fire truck. More hot sauce. And then this area of the store is done up kind of like an Asian village. All right, on this one, your guess is as good as mine. Big Bertha's has got some sort of counter on it, and they've got over 200,000 whatevers. There's a balcony where you get to look down where they're storing all the fish. And then if I spin around, you're kind of on a second level above the international market area. Look at the ramen area, King Kong. It's pretty fantastic here. All right, in this corner of the store, there's an animatronic Robin Hood. Wonderful. Makes a ton of sense. Robin Hood is above the Great Britain area. Something I've not seen before. Look at the size of some of these bags of rice. They're 40-pound bags of rice. Like, you would traditionally think of like a dog food in that kind of bag, but man, you could probably get a really good value. That much rice should be eaten forever. Pinatas line the Mexican area. That is a mural. It seems to be like a New Orleans area. There's another village. And then the entrance to the Mexican area. And something that I love here, they have a bar. So I got a nice Urban Artifact Sour to wander around the store with. There's also a liquor store side. Get a Jungle Gym's rock glass or shot glass. If I was in Cincinnati longer, I would definitely buy one of those. Good to know, if you've already finished your first beer, there is a tiki bar style bar, not like the ones I like, but just, you know, it's got the things on top. There's a bar in the international market section, is what I'm trying to say. And even seats to sit down and have a beer. This place is great. Yes, that over one of the entrances is indeed a monorail. And not just any monorail, it says the monorails that used to run at Kings Island. They do have the monorail track and the cars, but it runs from the store to I believe it's like a convention center they own. So the monorail does not run often, if at all, but cool to see it. So if you follow the monorail line from the store to where it ends, you get here to Oscar Station, which is their private event venue. You can see the monorail in the station right there. Also some spare cars. Now I believe if you go to some of their bigger events, they will run the monorail. I'm not 100% sure, but I know there's a beer festival, I think next month in June. They might run it for that. Now I normally wouldn't show you a private event space, but on Thursdays, and Thursdays alone, their private event space opens from 4 to 10 as a bourbon bar. So I think I'm gonna have to go drink some whiskey. Bourbon bar, as you would expect, pretty cool. It's mostly a private event venue. Drinking a Basil Hayden Subtle Smoke on the rocks. Prices here are not too bad for bourbon either. Like if you wanted Blanton's, which I was like one of my favorites, that is $15 for pours are an ounce and a half. Oh my goodness, look at that. It's amazing. So I talked to the bartender for a little bit about the monorail, and she says it's only the big events like a beer event, a wine event, or a cheese event. And to ride the monorail, you would need like the top tier ticket. So if you do want to ride this old Kings Island monorail, that would be your time to do so. I know it's something I'm definitely putting on my list. I mean, I love this place anyway, but I get to ride a monorail and go to a beer festival. That sounds like a good day. And my friends, that is Jungle Jim's. It is quite the place. A really, really fun time. Now, there are two different locations. This is the Fairfield location. The Eastgate one is also cool. I don't think it's quite as cool as the one at Fairfield, but you know, it's worth checking them both out. If you got any questions about Jungle Jim's, let me know in the comment section below. Now I got a plan to get to that beer festival to ride the monorail.